Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome, podcast 33.
Amazing. I love it.
We are cruising in through summer. It's nice to kind of have a little bit of a break from bowling. And not, but then at the same time, we were like, what are we going to do a show on tonight now that there's really nothing happening anymore? So we're we're here. We're good to go.
We do a great job putting Katie works so hard at trying to compile all of our members that are going to join us for the day and create an agenda. So you did a great job. I think it'll be a great podcast.
Yeah, I think so. We were originally planning on focusing a little bit on Masters Nationals, but then the guys last week did like a full 2 hour recap show covering every single division and every single winner. So there really wasn't anything else to cover.
Unfair.
Yeah, I'm like that 2 hour show. That's Tim had me do a 2 hour show with him to cover the YBC Nationals. That's a long show.
I
So
cannot blame them though,
yeah,
right?
yeah, they got it all out and done, so that was really good. So we're going to focus a little bit on Pro League because there's been a lot of things happening in Pro League the last couple weeks between the season wrap up with our new crown champions, and then we had relegation tournament happened. Right now, teams that are wanting to come in through the expansion side of it are starting to post some scores and see if they can get into one of the last two spots of the league. So there's just like lots of things happening Pro League right now. So it seemed like a good time to
Catch me
do
up
it.
on that portion of it because I've kind of missed that as part of my thing. So maybe others have as well.
Yeah, so during the regular season, bottom two teams from each division got put into a relegation side of it. And so they went into a 4 team tournament where they played a round robin against everybody. And then the top two teams from that got their spot back in the league. So they're just automatically in. So we have players from both of those teams that earned their spot back into the league today. So we'll be talking to some of them. Then the other two teams that did not make it through the relegation, they have the opportunity to go into the expansion side of it. So with 2 spots opening up in the league, now there's the expansion piece where teams from all over the country, whether you had a team before or not, can do I believe it's a 4 game qualifier. So you just throw your 4 games. And then the top 2 teams from that piece will go in as the last 2 teams for the league. So lots of
It
things
doesn't
happening.
sound easy.
Yeah, it's not, I don't, well, it's one of those things that I don't have to have my hand in and I can just be like,
Yeah.
oh, an observer and watch it all go
And just see what
down
happens.
and just see what
Yeah.
happens like the rest of everybody else. And it's nice. But I'm sure for like Tim and Carrie and all the people organizing and
Yeah.
commentating and doing all those things, it's been a little bit of a gong show last couple of weeks. But I know Maria and Mitch did a really good job. They were doing all the relegation side of it. They were on for that. They also, I believe, both were on for the championship match that happened. Because one was Saturday, one was Sunday. So there was just lots of things.
Which is amazing. And just like the level of interest, right? Like it's so important for
Yeah.
people.
From what I've been hearing, don't quote me on it, but I
Yeah.
think there's somewhere around like 7 teams potentially throwing an expansion
Wow.
qualifier to try to get in for those 2 spots. So
That's
there's lots
amazing.
of interest of people who are still wanting to get into the league and be a part of it, which is fantastic for the longevity of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's lots of things coming up. But before we get into our like pro league guests, few just like kind of announcement type things for people who have their eyes set on August and some other events that are coming up. Tour finals. So if you are wanting to watch tour finals and Gallagher Cup, that is happening at Sherwood Bowl August 9th and 10th. So the Saturday evening will be the Gallagher Cup, which is always fun. That's like a free event that anybody who's just in the area can come and hang out and watch. There's always people having some drinks. And if you don't know what the Gallagher Cup is, it's kind of like in golf, the Ryder Cup, where it's team events and they are on a race to however many points. But that one's always fun. So that's happening Saturday night. And then Tour Finals is August 10th. That one is $10 for a ticket to come watch. That's one where we video it all. We have like the production crew come in and then it gets released in episodes leading up to the Autumn Open. So That's always fun. So if you're in the Shore Park area around the beginning of August, it's always fun to come and have a head start on that. And with that, during the Gallagher Cup will be the draw for the WCBT Yard Games package. So if you don't have your tickets yet for that, $20 each. The package is like this massive cooler, and then 3 of the large board game yard games. So the Tetris tumble that's all over TikTok, and the glow in the dark axe throwing, and then the giant Jenga, not Jenga. What is the Giant Connect 4?
Yeah.
Not Jenga. Yeah, so if you haven't got your tickets for that yet, all the information's on the WCBT page, but I know there is not a ton of tickets sold yet, so chances of winning are still very good and very high. So I would definitely recommend getting some tickets for that.
I love it. I've certainly participated in the Gallagher Cup and have enjoyed every year that I was able to be a part of it. But yeah, I would highly recommend if you have a chance to get there and go and watch it. It's a really, really great event. And then just the WCBT piece of it on the next day is always just so fabulous. Lots of anticipation, right? And good bowling.
Yeah. And they get so competitive. Like,
yeah.
For being a fun event that like really
Guys are
doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things other than for bragging rights, they take the bragging rights so seriously.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
But-
They've worked hard all year, right?
Fair,
So yeah.
Fair. But that's kind of all the like little things. So we can jump right in and bring in some of our relegation winners from this year's Pro League. So we're going to bring in Mary Jo McKenzie from the Pinsanity, and then we have manager Natalie and Lindsay from the Eclipse. Oh, I almost butchered that so bad. I'm like clicking people in and out.
It worked.
Welcome.
No, you should have kept your
Thank you.
composure.
I should have, but I thought I was busted.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Great.
Good, good. So you ladies were all part of the teams that made it through. We were just talking about that relegation tournament where bottom 4 teams from the regular season, obviously not where you wanted to be coming out of the regular season, but then having to go into this relegation tournament. So Natalie, how about we start with you? Like, how was your team kind of feeling after the regular season?
I think we knew that we were better than we had bowled. We lost, I can't remember how many matches. It drove me nuts as a coach, but like by less than 6 pins. So it was like errors and wood, and we'd be leading in the front 5, and then I swear to God, we had a joke, like the commercial break would come up, and that was also our break mid-game. It was like we just, kind of fell off and lost focus. So, but we were really motivated because we really do feel that we belong in the league, and, we really are like a family. So it was, Kelly and Kaylin opened up the center, and it was just like, let's get it done. We knew what we needed to do. And so everyone was behind everyone.
Yeah. That commercial break, hey?
It's,
It's either like an absolute game killer or like the TSN turning point.
Yeah,
Every match it seems to come into play.
absolutely.
Lindsay, from a player's aspect, how were you feeling coming out of the regular season?
Geez. I'm kind of pretty easygoing, so I was just kind of excited to have joined the team this year. It was frustrating, those, like Natalie mentioned, those close matches we lost, but
Yeah,
yeah.
fair. And Mary Jo, you're all the way over on the other side of the country, but in the same boat. How was your team feeling at the end of the regular season?
At the end of the regular season, I feel like we had just started to kind of come together a bit.
Mhm.
The last couple of matches. So, but we were so far down, we couldn't dig our way out. We knew we were going to be in relegation, even when we played our last matches. But I feel like we started to gel more kind of at the end.
Mhm.
So, which was good.
I mean, Mary Jo, it's been 2 consecutive years that Pinsanity has brought down
sorry.
carnage down to the
Sorry.
knees.
Sorry.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
that is what it's all about, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
Pinsanity has been a bit of a nemesis
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
for us. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, just a subtle reminder that it still hurts a little bit.
Hey, when I was out in Calgary and I saw Rob and I said something to him and he was like, too soon, too soon.
It's true. It's true. We'll be ready for you guys next time.
Yeah, maybe they'll mix up the divisions and we won't have to play you.
That'd be godsend. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gelling is a good point though, because I was new as a coach manager to the team. We had 4 new players, I think, on the team. And so it did take us a little bit to kind of find our
Rhythm.
dynamic and figure out who we are as individuals, how we work as a team. And so I do think there is something to that, like just starting to gel. And we had players who bowled together on the Open, for the Open and Masters National. And so like every time you're together on the lanes, you build a little more rapport. And so like, I think for our team, I feel like in those relegation matches, we finally gelled. Like it finally really kind of came together.
For sure. So as you're kind of talking about gelling, did you guys do anything between the end of the regular season as a team and the start of like relegation to kind of continue to build that trust and camaraderie together? Or was it just natural through tournaments?
I think, well, again, we were all at the Open. And so I coached the mixed team and I was quite fortunate in that we had Kyle, Matt, and Bradford and Debbie all on the same team. So like 4 of our players, right? So not only did we have the zones and the provincial, but then the national event itself. And Kyle was just coming off of having bowled nationals where I coached there. And I think the other thing is Okanagan. So Lindsay bowled for a different zone for the Open, but Okanagan is really like a family. And so regardless of zones, like we went out for dinners and we, so I think it's like, and the bowl spiel at Chase, all of us were bowling in that. And so I just think it's like with every encounter, and we have our group text and everybody's cheering everybody on at different events. Lindsay, what would you say though?
Yeah, it is kind of hard with the Okanagan just because we're kind of spread out. It is hard to get, I've even been on the Open team a couple years in a row, and the first year it was like you're kind of in it and you don't know anybody really because it could be Penticton or Castlegar and then Kamloops, like they're all real spread apart. So it is even hard to get together for practices in the winter and things. So I think we do the interiors is also a good one. So we have the interiors, the Open, and that kind of helped our team get to know each other a bit better.
Yeah, but I think for some of ours, like, Debbie and Bradford drove 3 hours for that match, right? So for us to get together to practice is just, it's not really feasible for us. And Mike Elder is also out there as well. So when you're looking at a 3-hour drive, it's a lot to ask.
Yeah. Mary Jo, you're kind of, I would think maybe in a little bit of an opposite or unique situation, like with PEI being so small. I would assume most of you probably see each other for like league bowling and things like that.
Yeah, pretty much everybody, I think, bowls the Friday night league. There's really only one competitive league on the island, and it's at North Rustico, where we bowl out of, which is a little tiny 6-lane house in the Lions Club, in North Rustico, which for me is a 40-minute drive, and for Charlottetown it's probably a 30-minute drive. So it's kind of between us, but it's not on the North Shore. It's right on the ocean. And like I said, most of us bowl the Friday night league there. So, but then I haven't seen anybody since Regina. Right. And I don't think anybody had thrown any balls since Regina when we walked into those. So, personally, I prefer to not be going to the bowling center in the summer because it's so short here. So
100%.
Yeah. But
I think sometimes you just need to take a little bit of a break from it too, though, right? There's something to be said about practicing, but there's also something to be said about being like, we know how to throw the ball.
It's a definitely like a long season, a long bowling season. Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially if you're invested in the Open and Masters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
most of your team, Mary Jo, would have been at Regina Open Nationals, right? I think
Yeah.
almost everybody wasn't
I'm
it?
trying to think. Like, well, John was coaching.
John
I
was coaching the
bowling,
ladies team.
and Sherry was bowling, and Trey was bowling, and Ian was bowling,
Yeah.
and Scott was bowling. Yeah, and Nick, who wasn't there, and Amy, who wasn't there for the
Yeah.
relegation. Yeah,
Yeah.
so all of us
Trey,
were.
That's awesome.
Trey had just come off of YBC Nationals.
And
as
Trey
well.
bowled YBC too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
they were still getting lots of practice. There was lots of balls thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them maybe Trey or Sherry had gone bowling, but I really don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Fair.
yeah.
And then how was the morning of relegation? Did you guys have kind of like a little talk together before starting, or was there a moment where you were like, okay, we're kind of going through this pretty good?
Well, no, because we lost the first game to these guys, and
Sorry.
it was interesting because before they started the match, Natalie said she talked about the same thing she talked about here tonight about how they had lost so many matches by less than 10 pins, and the wood was all over the deck and whatever.
Mhm.
And anyway, so it was interesting because it ended up that they beat us by 12 maybe, or 15 or whatever. Like, it was so close. And I know for me, I did kind of chat with some of the team and said, like, we just, because we left the wood
Yeah.
that time around, but then we seemed to pull up our socks, and
Then you won the next two.
we won the next two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even that, like, you look at it and think, oh yeah, we got through. But the last game, like, it was going into the last game for everybody, it was whoever was won total
Yeah.
was going to go through.
Yeah, it was very close between
was
all
very
four
close.
teams. Yeah.
And ours was close right down to probably until I got up in the 10th, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was
Ours
bowling
also
four
went-
spot,
Yeah.
like, it was so close.
Yeah.
One
went-
ball, the other
Either
way.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
But-
mean, I told our team, win real easy, just win 3, right? And I'm like, got that 2 out of 3. But Kelly and Kaylin are awesome. They opened up. We had like their kids there, Matt's kids there. So, they're watching TV on the big screen. Kelly's making food and whatever. And so, like, I think like there's a bit of a social aspect to our team, so we take it seriously, but also like there's a chill aspect. And I think Kyle does the huddles quite a bit, and so gave a bit of a speech at the outset. And we were pumped in that first match, and then in the second match, we did all the wrong things, and I was like, okay, well, this is an example of what not to do in bowling. I'm gonna have a stroke. But Kelly and Kaylin, like, we have 3 coaches there between myself, Kelly, and Kaylin, and also it was like, guys, we got to bowl like a full game. We're better than this. Like, I am a cheerleader for the team, but I'm also the person who's going to call them out on their shit, right? And so it was a little like, this can't happen. And so we rebounded, and I think the team like really came together. And what I loved is in that last game, we were so focused right down to the very last ball. And even in making substitutions, I have to say our team is so great. If I pull someone, nobody argues, right? It's just like, okay, get on with it.
Yeah.
That's why this sport is so fabulous.
Yes,
You bowl
So
great, you
many
want to come
things.
back. You bowl bad, you want to come back.
exactly.
Right?
So next, I had a question for Natalie. Next year, because you went to Chase, is that where will you bowl next year?
So Chase is actually one of the co-sponsors of our team.
Right.
And so that's why we bowled out there. And Lincoln has just changed ownership. So
Right.
they've got summer activities. We did talk about it as a team, and we will bowl in Lincoln. Again, that's just partially for the drive. So
Yeah, exactly.
Kelly
Yep.
and Kaylin would love to have us, but the difference between Chase and Lincoln would be an hour and a half less for Debbie and Bradford.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have some members that may or may not be returning. And so even looking at potential new members, again, it's a bit easier for them to make it to Lincoln. And Bailey's had a chance to talk to the new owners. Kyle has as well. And they seem to really be on board with supporting the team, which is good as well. So that's good news.
Lincoln's where I bowled my last Open in BC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. So hearing there's a few maybe changes happening over on the Eclipse side for next season.
Yeah.
Core of the team though is mostly sticking together.
Yeah, Mike Elder's going to take a bit of a break from bowling next year. Kind of what we were talking about. Like you can get a bit bowled out, and sometimes you just need to step away. So he's going to be stepping away, and then Matt Griffin is just unsure. So we've left it for him to let us know and decide. And we did talk about it as a team after relegation. And then Trevor is having shoulder surgery. Actually, he just had shoulder surgery last week, right, Lindsay, or 2 weeks ago?
I'm not sure when he's having it, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's his bowling arm. And so he needs to rest. I believe it's for 2.5 months minimum post-op. And so we're just going to give him the time to see where he's at. And so then we talked about potential people who were interested and who could take spots on the team, and also who we thought fit with our vibe, because that's really important to us as well. So, but yeah, we talked about it all as a team, which was great.
Nice. Mary Jo, what are you guys doing for next season?
PI does it totally differently. And they have a roll off every year. You have to requalify nobody gets an in.
Oh,
That's very cool.
So that's the bowling in August now is
qualified for the Pinsanity.
And then talk about the qualifier. Like, how many games is it?
They're doing, as of, I think this is what they're doing for sure. It's August 9th and 10th, so Saturday, Sunday, and there's 4 blocks of 6 games. So 6 games Saturday morning, and then a break for lunch, and then 6 more games. Same thing on Sunday. And you take your best 3 of the 4 blocks, and you can just bowl 3. Like last year, I only bowled 3. I didn't have to bowl the rest of it. Anyway, and they just people are signing up on Facebook or whatever.
Well, that's because you're Maria's mom.
Oh, thanks for the shout out.
I was waiting for my moment.
Thank you. That was great. I did, like I said, I put it in my name. That was her shout out for me because she said, please do me a shout out.
Oh, we all know and love you.
Yes. Well, good luck with the qualifier coming up in a few weeks then. Congratulations to all of you. We are super excited to have you all back in the league again for the 2025 season. Hopefully, I know Eclipse was in my division last time. We were all in the same division last time, weren't we?
Hopefully I'll be back.
We're ready for Lindsay to run 11 baggers. That's like her specialty.
Good to watch when that happens.
It is fun to watch. Well, thank you ladies so much for popping on to just kind of chat relegation with us, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your summer. Maybe get some time to just relax away from the game for a bit, and we'll see you in September.
Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah.
All the
Thanks,
best,
ladies.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right. So that tournament happened on the Saturday, like at the beginning of July. And then the very next day, I believe, was the finals were on Saturday, and then the relegation was on Sunday. So so our next guest bowled the same weekend as them, just in the finals, and their team ended up on top. So let's bring her in.
Fun.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, Jana?
That's good. How are you guys?
Good.
I borrowed your children's headset. Is that?
They had to show me how to turn off the lights so the lights weren't going while I was wearing them.
Amazing.
I am a huge fan. I was a huge fan of yours when I watched you in a final singles competing for a national title. And when I watched you in that final, I can't even remember what year it was, but you had me hooked. So congratulations on your win here for the Pro League.
Thank you. It's fun.
Yeah, you had a fantastic season. You averaged over 250 with 5 points. I know in the semifinal, I was watching and like you were on fire, like basically just the middle of the team, just holding down the fort and keeping everything going.
Yeah, it was a good day.
It was a really good day. And then you guys made it all the way to the end and came out on top. That's exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah, it was
Why
super
don't you
exciting.
start by just giving us like kind of a little rundown? Who's on your team? How was the regular season for you guys?
The regular season was great. We had a big break in our season. Like we kind of had all of our matches together closer towards the end. And so, like for better or worse, the schedule is the schedule, but it's kind of nice. I don't mind it, other than it being your weekends, right? Like your Sundays.
Yeah.
But you kind of like you're seeing each other regularly. You're in the mindset of Dynamite and Pro League and things like that. So that's pretty good. And it's a bit of a family affair for us on our team. So I play with my brother Aaron. My sister Andrea is the manager and has played on the team before as well. And then you've got Tyler and Chad Van Dale, a father-son duo there. And then Scott Barber, Randy Morissette, and Katie Holland. And so, maybe not family by blood, but we were talking about this. Is like we've all known each other and played together despite the generational differences for decades.
Yeah.
Like it's wild when you step back and think about that. Like I remember Tyler as a child, and now we're playing alongside each other, kind of in this setting. And Chad and Scott can say the same for me. Like knew me before I was bowling as an adult, and things like that. So it's pretty unique, I think, to have that dynamic in history for a team.
But also a pretty like small community, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of see that. I think you see that even in some of these like bigger cities or areas. I would say I've experienced that here, but I do think it makes it special because you guys have gone through so many things, right? All together.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's just like this comfortability, right, with each other in the setting, and also like trust in each other, right? Like there's no, I think that was a big thing too, is like you never really doubted anyone out there.
Yeah.
You knew that you needed to count on them, and they were rooting for you no matter what.
100%. That's a big part of it. Like Nat was saying too about just gelling as a team. It kind of helps when a lot of your team is family and related. They already naturally have that just unspoken bond, right?
Yeah.
So then morning of the finals, how did you guys, like, did you have a practice? There was a little bit of a gap in between your semifinal games and then the finals. Was there any like practices in between? Did you do anything to warm up?
No, nothing specific. Like we're lots of us are still bowling in like a spring kind of summer league, so still seeing each other in that setting and bowling weekly still, but nothing team specific. We didn't do a lot of that, to be honest, throughout the season. Just didn't feel a need for it. And again, like we're all bowling in similar leagues and seeing each other regularly that way too.
Yeah. And playing tournaments. Like I saw many of you at Masters National or at Open Nationals. Like you and Andrea traveled out for Diamond Ladies. Like there was lots of opportunities to play in other events as well. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So are you letting sort of this win sink in, Jana, and is the team going to kind of stay together? Is there any big changes happening for you guys as a team?
I think there will be some changes next year. I think we'll see Andrea back as a player, which is exciting. I love playing with my sister. And then I think Chad is also stepping back for the year because he's having some surgery things or something as well. So there'll be another change there for sure.
Yeah. Are you guys going to look at bringing in more players, or is that, I guess, it would make your full roster if Chad steps away and Andrea comes back into a
Yeah.
player role?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know if we'll see other changes, but those are the two that I think are
On
going
the
to
schedule now.
happen.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during the playoffs, were you guys, was there a moment when you were like, okay, maybe we've got a little bit of an opening here with next gen, and
Mhm.
you kind of started to think, okay, this could be our year?
Yeah, I think like just our division final was a rematch of last year's league final, right? With next gen. And that's a tough opponent, for sure.
Oh,
And
right, because
so-
next gen wasn't in the final. Sorry,
No.
that's right. It was not next gen.
No, yeah, it was Venom.
Venom,
So like
that's
our division final was
Mhm.
versus next gen, which was, like I said, like our league
The
final
rematch.
last year. So a little bit
Mhm.
of like, do over there. And that was crazy. Like that was intense, and high scoring and good bowling and close matches and
Yeah.
things like that. And then, yeah, I would say like after that, you're like, okay, like we did a hard thing. We could do hard things. Like let's just keep doing the hard things as we go into the final against Venom. So
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Venom had
that's
been coming off a
definitely
hot streak. Like they turned it on for basically the entirety of the playoffs
yes,
and the last couple weeks of the regular season to get into the playoffs as well.
Well, and you can appreciate like the depth of these teams.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like you certainly can.
yeah. Like on any given day, right? Like
Mhm.
any team on any given day, this type of league. I love it. I love the format. I love the league. I think I've said to some other players who haven't had experiences at Masters Nationals or maybe Open Nationals yet, like this is as close as it gets to simulating that
Mhm.
feeling, right? Like that togetherness as a team, that intensity, finding a way to win every point matters kind of energy. You don't really get that a lot of places outside of a national.
Right.
And it's a skill, right? It's a skill. And I think that this league can really help develop that in players.
Yeah. I think we've already started to kind of see player development in that sense, right? There's quite a few. I know even just out of Edmonton, like Kaylee Mack joined the Misfits and then all of a sudden making open team and like having a lot of success at the open, just having a little bit more match play under her belt and a little bit more of that team match play.
Yeah, and you might get some of that match play experiences other places, but not in the same like 5-player team dynamic. You might get it as a single more so, like there's more opportunities for that, but not a lot of opportunities for the 5-player team kind of match play experience outside of provincial or national.
100%.
I love this league for that. I love being a part of it for folks who haven't had those experiences and they're like nervous and kind of like helping them work through that and whatnot. So I love it. It's great.
Yeah. I've never actually really thought about it that way, that it is really like the closest thing you would get. You have the live stream going, a full team, like lots of people play match play leagues, but those are usually like a 3-player league. Everybody's off having their own conversations. It's not the same intensity or the same
And
together
you have the role
drive
of the
forward.
coach there too.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have any match play leagues and cash tournament match play type scenarios either. And so I think that it adds a lot of value to player development to be involved in
100%.
this league for sure.
I would agree
I
with
always
you.
kind of like talk about it that way with players who are considering it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it builds moments like to help with your confidence. So like if you're struggling with your confidence, and we all have ebbs and flows in our game, especially if you're a youth and you come in, a little bit reluctant. Some people have it right out of the gate and the others don't. But when you're in that team environment and you know that you're contributing to the bottom line, you can feel that from your teammates. I agree with you. I think it can build you up and give you moments for the rest of your, the rest of your year. Yeah.
100%.
Because I think I
It's
had
good
similar
perspective.
conversations with some of our younger players or less, I don't want to say less experienced players, just in this setting, about like, there is always, I find, like a learning curve to when you're new to that kind of environment of like feeling like you don't want to let your team down. And if you're not scoring well, you know, you don't want to, there's feelings associated with that, right? And then it does take some time and experience to change your mindset into being okay with a 197 for the point, right? Like versus like, so this, like, I call it like a find a way to win mentality, like this kind of setting. Sometimes it's going to be a 350, sometimes it's going to be a 197. You're still contributing, even though it doesn't feel like you are, right? Kind of thing.
And even like getting to the mindset of maybe I struck out for the 185 and I lost my individual point, but that 3 strikes helped contribute to team total. And every one of my 185 went to the bottom. And that might have helped the bigger picture, right? That takes a lot to kind of shift your mindset on.
Right. And it takes experience. And like I said, outside of a national, there's not a lot of opportunity to get that. And so when you can get that, you know, 12 weeks, you know, through every season in the pro league. And I think that'll only help people get kind of like develop those mindsets and skill sets faster. 100%. Than like the once a year experience at a national kind of thing. So I'm a huge fan.
Really great perspective.
Yeah.
And
then finals, you could see the excitement of your team. Scotty throws a strike in 10 and everybody is just on the lane, ready to go. How was that feeling?
Well, that was exciting. Yeah, that was exciting. I think we had all decided, like, I assumed we were playing a third game, right? Like, at that point, it didn't really look like, you know, it could be a done deal in the 2 games. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, like it could be, like we could do this kind of thing. So I think that contributed to that, like, excitement. I mean, it's exciting regardless, but I think that definitely contributed to that excitement in that moment. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. You know, it's a competitive league. Every team, you know, a tough opponent, and to be in the final the last couple of years, miss out, right? Like, you know, and then this year is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can feel your energy. So how would you compare that to like winning a national championship?
I would say, like, in that moment, probably similar. I think the national championship probably edges out the pro league for me personally, but I would say like similar energy for sure. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Your brother was definitely very excited. He was like, could not contain his excitement.
Yeah. I called him the MVP that day. Like, just, he was unstoppable.
I was like in that first game when he opened the first frame and then threw the next 11, I'm like, this is why I say the first frame only matters when you throw the next 11. And I was like ready to send him a message, but I held off because I'm like, he probably doesn't care right now because they're doing really well. So
yeah. We had a thing the year that we won Masters, like the tournament ladies. We like had terrible first frames, and so we just kind of labeled it first frame energy, kind of thing. And so
the first frame doesn't matter.
I kept thinking about the whole time. I'm like, well, it's just first frame energy. So the other 9 were great.
Yeah, it happens. It only matters when you throw the next 11.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool.
So personally, what kinds of things do you have on the docket for next season, or like goals moving forward?
I think, just more of the same is kind of what I would like. We had our kind of Super League draft tonight, and so we'll play that league again next year. I wasn't successful in the qualifying for Masters this year, and so I would like for that to happen next year. If I'm looking kind of at specific goals, that would probably be it.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, congratulations again on a fantastic win. It was so nice hearing your perspective on it, because definitely was one that I hadn't necessarily thought of before, but like, you're right, it is one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to kind of have a fresh take on it. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, no, I do think it's important. I think it fills a gap, because I do think that those are skills, right? And like you can only get better by practicing it, and
Yeah.
you can't quite do that, most
Yeah.
other settings. So
And for many, like nationals are once every few years. Like you don't really get an opportunity to consistently practice those skills
right,
in
Like,
a
here
lot
you
of
go.
these really competitive provinces where you may only get a shot at nationals every once in a while, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And just that pressure of like needing to strike out or needing a shot, right? Like we get that in league to some degree, and some people feel it more than others. It doesn't really provide enough incentive for me in league
Yeah.
to kind of do that. But pro league does, right? Like it changes the stakes, so to speak,
For
the
sure.
higher stakes for sure.
Yeah.
Well, go
All
make that
right.
Masters team next year, and then we'll invite you
Yeah.
back on the show when you do that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
Amazing.
thanks for having me,
Thanks so
guys.
much, Jenna.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Jenna.
Okay, bye.
Take care. All right.
That was cool.
Yeah. I've never thought about it that way, but like really, it is such a unique skill set, like what comes at Open Nationals or Masters Nationals. I mean, you get it a little bit at Open Provincials, but even Masters qualifying doesn't have anything like that.
Agreed.
So it's like 3 times a year, most people are in that mindset and in that headspace. So yeah.
Awesome.
Interesting. All right. We are going to move on. We have 3 more guests that we're going to bring on together here that had a fantastic season at Pro League this year. Hello, ladies.
It's the ladies who averaged 270, and then we had one standout performance by Michaela Sanderson.
Yes, we did. Michaela was like, hi. She was.
But congratulations. 270 is amazing.
Yeah. So congratulations. Yeah. You are all in the running of like player of the year for the female side of Pro League. So fantastic bowling. Coral, you averaged 272, took 7 points on the Kingpins this season. Linda, 272 and took 8 points on the Mayhem. And then Jessie, you took 6 points, averaging 274 with the Venom. And your team ended up in the final match against the Dynamite. So congratulations on fantastic seasons, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
How about we start with just kind of giving us a little rundown, like how do you feel your season went, Coral?
I think it was pretty good. Traveling out to Alberta every weekend that we play is it's an awesome experience. We really bond as a team. We get together, we have some drinks, we go for supper. And I think the team chemistry is really something that plays into playing well when you're playing alongside like the awesome bowlers that we have on our team. So I think that really helped contribute to the team scores that I was able to put up. And
yeah.
Because
you're from Saskatchewan. Right?
Yes, just outside of Saskatoon.
So how far of a drive is it for you?
Wow.
5.5 hours.
So then do you travel on a Saturday and then go home on the Sunday?
Yep.
Yeah. There's no other way.
It's a quick turnaround.
In the winter in Stettler.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
Yeah, there was only once that when it was like -50 that I didn't make it, but Scott still made it down there.
Wow.
But yeah.
Wild.
That's a big commitment, but a fun little, like it's a fun team.
It is lots of fun, definitely.
Yeah. Jessie, how about you? How was your season team wise?
It was great. We all get along really well on the team, so we don't, some of us hang out outside of bowling, but we all bowl the same leagues together, so it's just a really good group. We get along, we gel really well, and I mean I feel like we had a good season. We were 50% for most of it, but we played well. I think our, nothing under 1200 until our final match, of course, in the finals, but it was good.
Just a great rally at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were
Right?
you were kind of right with us at 50% the whole season along. And then in the last week, it was like, okay, well, we're sitting back watching. Like, Venom has to take 14 points here. And then they do. And we're like, okay, nothing we can do about that. Like, it was just like fantastic bowling.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. We needed, we took the points that we thought we needed to make it, and then we needed a little bit of luck, and it just, you know, it happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was exciting for sure.
Do you what was the spark at the end? Was like there a big conversation? Did Rhonda make a big speech? What was it?
No, no, it was more like, come on, guys, just, we got to do it. Like it was a do or die situation. We had nothing to
Yeah.
lose, right? Like, so it was just try and get
Yeah.
it done. And
Yeah.
it wasn't like we were having a bad year. Like, I mean, we've had worse years, obviously. Um, we had it, we were bowling well all year. It just, we weren't taking the points, right? So we'd win a match, lose a match, win a match, lose. It was literally 50%
Yeah.
until that last week. So yeah, it was, I don't know, I guess the stars aligned for us and it just worked out. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Linda, how about you?
Our team was really, really good. We gelled, had lots of laughs. Just made it a lot more fun, a little easier to bowl. I love the fact of bowling with the guys. It's like bowling on a mixed team, which I've never done. So it's just really fun. And then, so I can't complain at all.
Yeah.
Also a very high caliber team. Like all the teams here are all very high caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, you basically have like Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
already Hall of Famers or like potential Hall of Famers on every single team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does you have anybody that travels for your team, Linda?
Connie does.
Connie does. Okay.
Connie comes from Hamilton, so she's got quite a commute there, especially in the winter again, right? Not 5 hours, but but she does have quite the commute. So
Mhm.
Well, what would be your commute, Linda?
I'm like 25 minutes.
Okay, so that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I feel like
We're like
everything
most
in
of us
Ontario
are,
is far.
within that kind of small time frame. But Connie's got like over almost 2 hours, 2
Yeah.
and a bit maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still serious.
Yeah.
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 Jesse, do you have anybody that commutes on your team?
Honestly, we're pretty central.
Yeah.
I would think like the furthest would be like was probably Matt. I believe he's in Mission, so he probably had to commute about an hour, I would think.
Mm.
But it's pretty central for everybody, which is kind of nice because it's the only house that'll host us. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it works out. It's about a half hour for me, and I would think half hour to an hour for most people, but Matt is probably an hour plus. But in the grand scheme of things,
That's
can't
not
complain.
bad. Yeah.
Especially listening to the girls that you've had on here that are traveling to 2 to 5 hours to get there. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So are we expecting any like big changes on each of your teams? Maybe we'll start with Coral. Are you anticipating any change to the Kingpins?
The Kingpins are moving to Red Deer this next season, and we've picked up Shelby to bowl with us.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. That announcement was made on Facebook the other day, I saw.
Yeah.
Going to Heritage Lanes.
Yeah, so that should be good.
Yeah.
He bowled with us one of the last few weeks as an emergency sub as our team kept falling apart. Everybody was off injured. And he fit in really well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
That's a
talented.
fantastic pickup. He just played Masters Nationals and had a really great tournament. So
Agreed.
yeah. Linda, any changes coming to your team?
I'm not sure if there's any changes. There's been a little bit of discussion, perhaps taking a year off, but other than that, I really don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And Jesse?
I don't believe so. I mean, we were all game to come back. Obviously, we love playing with each other.
Mhm.
No, I don't think there will be. If there is, we'll probably discuss it, but right now I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. So when you think about like not taking a lot of changes and stuff, what is it about Pro League that's kind of keeping you invested or motivated or wanting to drive 5 hours in the middle of winter in the prairies of Canada to go to a Pro League match? Like, what is it about the league or that keeps you invested in it?
Like I was kind of said, it is like a national setting, and I would consider that win a national win in my eyes. Really, you're playing against everybody across the country. Um, so the competition is really, really high, really good. It's nice to be bowling with the best bowlers. I feel like Saskatchewan, we have players here and there, but we don't have us all bowling together at the same time.
Mhm.
So I find like we're just not as strong as what we could be. And so I really enjoy bowling in this environment.
Yeah. It is true. Like these teams are such a high caliber because you can literally handpick the talent that you want on them. So it's not about who had just a great qualifying weekend and then, that's not technically their norm or they kind of played above what you would expect from them, right? Like these teams are handpicked of the talent. So it's definitely a different level of talent pool than the one, and like even Masters and Open, you have some people that play Open but don't play Masters, some people that play Masters but don't play Open, but like this, it's kind of from everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know Saskatoon's trying to put together a team to go in the tryouts.
Mhm.
They're going through a tryout process as well. I'm not really sure how they're choosing their players from the people that have played,
Yeah.
or the makeup of the team, because that was another question I asked and it was unclear at the time. So I'm not sure if the breakdown male, female, or how many spots they're going to have, but
Right.
they're in the process of putting something together. But it all depends on how it's formed, really. Like you need those people that can gel together and not just fluke out and bowl a good tournament and
Yeah.
be a part of the team.
Mhm.
Like you want someone consistent that's going to show up and fits in and it gets along with everyone, and then they'll produce the scores that you're looking for and you need.
Yeah.
The tryout concept is really interesting. Like I didn't know that that was happening.
Yeah. I think there's a few teams that have used the tryout process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I mean, it's fair. Like there's something to be said about dynamics, but I've been on teams where I never actually even gave us a degree of possibility of anything, and I found out that those became some of my like best relationships
teams.
and friendships.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just got to give things a chance,
Yeah.
I think sometimes. But yeah, it's not easy.
I think sometimes it works for like places like PEI where they really don't have enough for 2 teams, but they have more players than an 8-player roster. So like the only
It's more of a fair,
reasonable, I
opportunity.
guess, fair way to do
Yeah.
it out there is to hold a tryout. But
Yeah.
yeah. Linda, what is it that keeps you engaged?
I think it's the people on the team. It's a competition, competing against everybody across Canada. And again, like I'm playing with Connie, who I'm typically always competing against. So now I get to actually play with her, which is kind of a neat thing, as well as the guys. Like I when do I get to play with my husband? I don't. And the other guys, like we just get along so well. And I think over the last few years we've even bonded even more because of the 5PU. So I think it's I really, at first I was very hesitant when they asked me, and I remember starting and I'm like, I don't know, guys, like camera's on, everyone's watching me. I'm not into this. It took me a while to get used to that. It really did. And it still does sometimes. I'm a little bit more conscious of it than other times. But I love the competition and I always have. So this is
Yeah.
just another way. And I love the whole idea of the way we do it, or the way that that the 5PU has developed this so that we can do this across the country. It's very unique, but it's a blast.
Yeah.
I think if the live stream is a hiccup for you, and I only really want to talk about this because, Linda, you've been playing for so long, and to have a player to say like, sometimes I'm affected by the live stream or the TV, like what you've done is you keep proving yourself, and it just gets you ready for that sort of next moment where you no longer have to think about it, which I think is incredible. I mean, you're an MVP nominee.
Yeah, that was shocking.
We'll talk about that, but we'll let Jesse go next.
Yeah.
What keeps me playing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm uber competitive, so so I do love the competition. I feel like bowling, like to me, what feels like in the pro league, like the best of the best across the country is it's just, you know, I'm just happy to be a part of it, right? So I love my team. I love everybody on it. Yeah, I mean it's you know, I just go out there and try to do my best. I don't love the cameras, and it took a bit of adjusting with you know, not having another team physically there bowling against them. But you know, I don't score watch too much when we play, which is maybe a good thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's yeah, I just love my team, and I'm again, I'm competitive, so I want to play, you know, for as long as I can, because it's getting harder and harder out here in BC to find, you know, like the houses are closing pretty quickly, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a play what I can when I can.
Well, we
as
love
well.
watching you in that anchor spot and just crushing it. There's been a couple of really, really good moments throughout your season, and it's incredible to watch you when you're like on your game. Kind of want to lead with the next question around MVP nominees. It's an incredible accomplishment. It's, you know, a long season, but maybe we'll go through the roster here and what did it mean for each one of you to be nominated for MVP for this season? Maybe we'll start with, we'll go backwards. We'll go Jesse.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I had no idea till just now that I was
Oh.
I didn't either, actually.
I had no idea, honestly. I literally just found out. So
People are live voting, like people are
Yeah, so there's a
voting.
vote happening right now on
I
Sweetie, give
have
him the
no idea how I
breakdown.
missed it. Sorry, I had no
Make
idea.
sure if you play in the Pro League, you go to the Pro League Facebook page, because all of the players in the league are voting right now for the Player of the Year for female and male. So
I had no idea. Sorry.
yeah.
Totally missed it, obviously. So I'm a bit shocked, to be honest with you.
I love the live reaction of this.
I know. Glad we're talking about
great.
this.
Yeah. Sorry. I
Well,
follow.
congratulations.
I follow everything on Facebook. I guess I missed it. I don't
Missed
really
that
know.
one.
So
That's okay.
Season average 274, 6 games. You locked in Jesse Bailey, MVP nominee.
Thank you. It's an honor and a surprise, to be honest with you. So I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of like, again, I'm just learning about it, so I'm not really sure how I feel.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Linda, how about you?
I was shocked. I actually kind of put 2 and 2 together when you invited us. And then Ian told me what I averaged. I said, I did not. And he says, you did. I said, okay. And he's like, and you won so many matches. I had no idea. I mean, I don't go there looking about what I do. It's about the team, right? So I honestly had no idea. So this was, Jesse said it was quite shocking.
We'll also remind the viewers for Linda McLean, 272, 8 points throughout her season. Also MVP nominee. It's very cool. And Coral.
Coral.
I also had no idea until you guys just mentioned it.
Okay, let me remind you, Coral, and we've known each other a long time. Season average of 272 and 7 points. MVP nominee, Coral.
That's exciting. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, you probably feel a little overwhelmed as well because you're just finding out now. Do people not like?
I don't know. Tracy, I'm going to ask you the same question because we have a 4th nominee in our mix today. Because Tracy, you also were nominated as one of the people to vote for because you averaged 277 and took 7 points.
So
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like I didn't bowl much this year.
You did. You bowled still 87 frames out of
I mean,
120.
overall outside.
Oh yeah,
of
outside of
Pro League,
Yeah.
I really just did take a back step this year, but all I really had was Pro League, and I came with my cup of coffee and tried to add value, and
you
I
did.
think I think I did. So that's
You did.
amazing. So yeah, I'm proud of myself, and maybe like now I'm starting to think about, well, do I still have it? Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's one of those things, you get a little older, you start thinking about retirement
I don't think you're
before
there yet,
all of the
but-
wheels fall off. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I'm actually like so glad we got to break this news like live to 2/3 of our guests tonight. That's exciting.
That's fun.
Um,
Congratulations, lady. It's a big honor.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
definitely make sure you tell your teammates if they haven't seen yet to also go. I don't think you can vote for your teammates, but like the more votes that come in, the better.
Let's talk about Michaela while we're at it. I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't talked about the boys in the MVP, but like Michaela,
I'm just
I
pulling
don't
it
have
up
the
here right now.
I don't have the stats, but
Michaela averaged 295 and took 10 points and bowled all 120 frames, mostly in anchor.
mostly an anchor.
That's awesome.
Like
Because
it's
she also
crazy.
had a fantastic season. I would have
Yes.
invited her, but she's on here like all the time. So
We're constantly bragging about Michaela.
yeah. So I just, she needed a night off.
But we're like, at least we're talking about her
Yes,
because
yes.
we love her. But that's a huge accomplishment on a big team like the Toppler Roses, and to bowl in
Yeah.
anchor. That's
Yeah.
that's big.
Lots of females had really fantastic seasons. I think
Yeah.
there was everybody who was in the top 7 or 8 was over 270 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic season all around. But so congratulations, ladies.
But we weren't the league champs, so
Yeah, but not yeah. Also that we missed that part of it, but
agreed.
still
Anyway.
fantastic bowling and a great season. So hopefully we'll see everybody back next season for another fantastic pro league. And if not, like quickly before we let you guys go, what are the plans for like open masters cash events for next season? Are we going to see you at things, Coral?
Yeah, I'm hoping to play the Open this year.
Amazing.
Amazing. Linda?
I likely will be back Masters and the Open.
Love that.
Fantastic. And Jesse?
Yeah, I'll probably open, and I didn't bowl Masters this year, but I'll probably be trying out next year for sure.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Well, I hope all you ladies will thrive next year.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on and spending some time chatting with us about Pro League this year. And hopefully you guys have a fantastic summer and can take a little bit of a break, regroup, and get ready for another season.
Thanks so much,
Thank
you guys
you.
too.
Thanks, guys.
Yes,
you
thank
later.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Well,
I
podcast
love
33 locked,
Podcast
locked
33
in.
done. Done and done.
Yeah.
If you haven't got your tickets yet, I'm going to put this up one more time. Draw
Okay.
date August 10th at the Gallagher Cup, but a really good package worth lots of money. Tickets are only $20 and not a lot are sold. So get your tickets now and have a chance to win that prize pack. But other than that, I think next podcast is August 20th, I believe. Be right
Sound.
before club tour. So yeah.
That's busy for you.
Yeah.
That's
When
okay.
am I not busy?
It's true.
I just keep going. I just keep
Yeah,
going.
it's all
But,
good. You're doing
all
great.
right. Well,
Okay, so I'll see you next podcast 34.
yeah. Thanks everyone for watching.
See you later.